What's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome back. We had a little quick conversation earlier about what happened on Watch What Happens Live last night, so y'all can go check that video out. But yes, happy Martin Luther King Day. I hope you are spending today in service to someone else. Yeah. So we are here for Married to Medicine. It is season 12, episode 7. Now, I'm gonna need y'all's help with this episode, this review. I'm gonna need y'all's help, and I'm gonna tell you why. Did I miss an episode? Did I miss something from last episode to this episode? Because how did we get so divided as a cast? Because the last I looked, we was at the family reunion and everybody was having a good time. Now, I know a few things went down. You know, I get it. But at the end of the day, I don't know how we got to where we ended up at the end of this episode. But we're going to slow walk it. So half the ladies were over at Angel's house. We had Dr. Heavenly, Quad, and Angel. Yeah, well, they were at Angel's house. And Dr. Mimi. And then at lunch, we had Toya, Contessa. I don't know if Jackie was there or not. I don't think Jackie was there. And Toya, Contessa, and Lord, y'all know who I'm trying to say. Simone. So they were talking about Heavenly's brother. And we talked about this last week. She said, look, at the end of the day, yes, I will get a DNA test, but you know, I'm just glad he came. I'm glad he was so well received. He was really nervous to come around to people. But in real time, we know that they have gotten a DNA test. Okay. So that is her brother. Papa was a Rolling Stone. Okay. It is what it is. Life happens. You know, unfortunately, a lot of us had them stories, honey, where people be showing up at the down to the funeral. You be like, who was that? Or, you know, things of that nature. So it is what it is. And I applaud Dr. Heavenly for embracing him because he had nothing to do with how he got here. You know, it's not his fault that Papa was a Rolling Stone. He had a whole nother family outside of y'all. So, yeah. So they talking about that. Now, Quad said that she's not going to let the ladies know that the egg retrieval didn't take. And I can understand that as well. She needs time to process it and figure out what she's going to do next. Because the minute she puts it out there, people are going to ask 5 million questions. Okay. Then they talked about Heavenly running for office. If I wasn't convinced before that this isn't real, I am more than convinced after this episode. Dr. Heavenly, this is a joke. It's not real. And unfortunately, because of our current administration, people do not respect politics anymore. They do feel like it's a joke. They do feel like you don't really need to know anything, and you can still be common, and you can still be you know what I'm saying, and just run for these offices, and you don't have to bring any level of decorum or integrity to the position. But we're gonna get to that later on. Then they talk about what Toya did to Angel about calling Angel out with the guy. All of the ladies felt like that was a problem. Even Toya's crew was like, girl, that you done broke girl code. Like, why would you do that? Well, excuse me. Nikki said from Trump to Schwarzenegger to Jason Lee, it's all a joke. I'm gonna push back a little bit on that because I'm not saying that people who do other things can't decide to go into politics. I'm talking about how they handle it once they are there. Do they take it seriously? Do they do their homework? Do they do their research? Do they come into it with the reverence that in my opinion politics deserves? I don't think that, even though I don't agree with Arnold Schwarzenegger's politics, I think he took the job seriously. I don't think he went in there like, you know, I mean, did he, you know, make a couple of jokes off of his like more famous lines in Hollywood? Yes. But I think he took the job seriously. I don't think I don't know. To me, when I look at somebody like a Donald Trump who's just doesn't take it seriously, doesn't bring any decorum. I mean, cussing people out, like when he, talking about people, calling people stupid and ugly and fat, and I mean, just and has no interest in really doing the job. It's really, I mean, he's literally just RAPE, the United States of America, and taking for what it's worth, That's kind of what I meant by that. But I understand what you're saying. Because there have been people who have gone from other walks of life into politics and done a really good job. Jesse Ventura was a great governor of Minnesota. Sonny Bono, who was a singer and went into. So I think you can do it. I just think you have to do it with a certain level of decorum. And so I'll explain in a minute why the decorum wasn't there, in my opinion. So Toya, you were wrong. There were no ifs, ands, or buts. And Toya's trying to defend her calling out Angel about bringing a guy to the family reunion. She's trying to defend it, talking about, well, she asked me to hook her up with somebody, and I don't want her playing this is family I'm hooking her up with family. So the reality of the situation is you have every right to question that. If somebody asked me to hook them up because they're single, and 2 weeks later they show up at a function with somebody who's claiming that he's her boyfriend, I do have questions. I have questions. But you know what I'm not going to do? Girl, I'm not going to call you out in front of this guy about my questions. I'm going to pull you to the side and be like, girl, didn't you ask me to, what happened? What did I miss? Because didn't you ask me to hook you up? Girl, I know you asked me to hook you up. So I need to know what's going on here. And then on top of that, then you asking questions about y'all sex life and stuff. Toya, that don't have nothing to do with her hooking you up with a friend. Asking about her sex life? Come on, Toya. So there's no defense. There's no defense for what you did, because you don't even know the whole story. She might have just been trying to bring a man on the show because she didn't want to be there by herself. Like, if you had pulled her aside, she might have been like, girl, that's just somebody, that's one of my dates, date in the glass. I break it open in case of an emergency. I just didn't want to come here without a man. It's it's the family reunion. I was the only one that wouldn't have had a significant other. I just didn't want to, it could have been something as simple as that. Because when you go through the show, Angel really is the only person that didn't have nobody to bring as a significant other. Maybe she just wanted to have somebody to bring. But Toya, the way you handled it was rude and it was fucked up. And you were not justified. I don't care what your excuse is. You were not justified in how you handled it. You might have been justified in having questions. You might have been justified in wanting it to be handled a certain way. But you were not justified in how you handled it. I could even see if you had actually hooked her up with somebody. Girl, you ain't even gave her a name yet. She ain't been on a date. Girl, she ain't even been on a date with nobody. What you talking about? Moving right along. Right, Chuck. And is she supposed to not date other people just because you gonna hook her up with somebody? They said they were trying to figure it out. They said that they've known each other for a long time and they were trying to figure things out. So it wasn't like she walked in there with no ring on her finger. Moving right along. Right, Nikki, that might have been her D in a glass. Now you done messed up her situation. And then again, Toya, you kept going, asking her about their sex life and stuff. Like, girl, come on. None of what you saying is justified in what you did. 1 + 1 is not equaling 2. I don't care how you slice it. I'm gonna say it again. 1 + 1 is not equaling 2. I don't care how you slice it, Toya. So then Contessa says, well, I want to take the ladies on a girls trip because I just feel like we're so divided. We need to come together. And this was the first aha moment for me in this episode because, again, we know they're going to take 2 trips. We know they're going to do the girls trip, and on Married to Medicine, we know the second trip is going to be the couples trip. They always do a couples trip. We get it. So we know what this is. We know it's the setup for the girls trip, right? Are there some legitimate conflicts going on among the ladies? Yes. But what we ended up getting to at the end of this episode was way too much for me. Okay. So The next scene we see Dr. Heavenly getting ready for her announcement about her running for office. So I don't know if y'all knew this or not, but when Dr. Heavenly did this launch, she had the wrong district on all of her merch, on all of her swag. Not merch, but on all her swag. She had the wrong district. Ma'am, if you can't even put the right district on your swag, on this, on your merch, or your, how can we take you seriously? How can we take you seriously? Because the reality is mistakes are made, but then you have to figure something out. The mistakes were made, but you can't get that stuff out. It's got the wrong district on it. That is not the district you were running for, ma'am. Hold on a quick second, y'all. Hold on. Sorry about that. But now it looks like by the time they filmed this, they had the right number, but it was, people were posting it on Instagram. You know, people were posting on Instagram like her merch at one of her campaign events. It had the wrong number. Anyway, moving right along. You putting Quad in charge of your campaign does not speak to me that this is serious. That doesn't mean that Quad isn't smart. That doesn't mean Quad can't do this job. What it means is, and they even said that to you. I think Mimi even said that to you, like, girl, putting Quad in charge is not a good look. Not because Quad may not be able to do the job, but you have to first convince us. And when I say us, I mean the people who live in your district, because you ain't got to convince me of shit. But the people who actually live in your district, first you have to convince them that you're serious and that this isn't a stunt, that this isn't for the television show, that it isn't a storyline. So putting Quad, who was on the show with you, in charge does not speak to this is a legitimate situation and this is real. It speaks to this is a stunt and this is a storyline. Symmetry, that might be the mix-up. Symmetry says she was originally running for a state district seat and then decided to run for Congress. So that, you're right. That absolutely could be the mix-up. That could be the mix-up. So that's number one. Number two, where is this taking place? Why are y'all having this at an outdoor parking lot? I'm questioning the logistics of this. And it looked like it was hot as hell out there. You know what I mean? You got them people sitting out there in the sun. Why? Why couldn't you rent a venue? I have been to campaign kickoffs, and I understand campaigns that don't have a lot of money. I understand campaigns that have a lot of money. I have been to both. I have participated in both. I have worked on campaigns that had a lot of money. I have worked on campaigns that had no money. Ma'am, first of all, Dr. Heavenly, even if your campaign had not raised any money yet, their campaign financing rules and regulations, but there was a way that you could have donated to your own campaign to pay for a venue, or you could have gotten Jackie or somebody else to donate a location and say, hey, I'm gonna donate my restaurant and we're gonna do this kickoff at my restaurant, or I have a party event space and I'm gonna donate it to you to do your kickoff. Why are we doing this in the middle of a damn parking lot on a day that it looks like it was fucking 90 degrees outside? Then you were begging the people, well, come on down front, fill it in, fill it in, fill it in. And I get that too. We're talking about optics. You always want stuff to be filled in from the front to the back. I get it. But I just felt like, again, there was a way that you usher people in, you give people seating, you it's a way you do it without sounding like, come on and sit down. Come on, move to the front and sit down. Come on down to the front, sit down. Then you don't even have a prepared speech. Well, you do, but you don't. But when she gave her speech about why she's running, I understood. I said, oh, this is a storyline. This is her attempting to take lemons with her son's arrest and turning it into lemonade, because you spoke about your son being arrested and, you know, you giving the statistics about Black men being arrested and having encounters with the police and how they don't come home and how you want to be there to support and blah, 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 blah. Then you going to call out Toya during your speech. Exactly, Nikki. Nikki said, I plan large community events for work. A mayor of St. or state legislature can donate venue. Right. There, I mean, again, you do have to stay within the campaign financing laws, but there are ways to do it. So Jackie even said to Quad, so this is real? Like, Jackie even had to ask Quad, so this is real? Quad was like, oh yeah, this is real. This is real. Now Jackie gonna say, oh yeah, because you know I don't do politics. You didn't have no problem doing politics when you was kissing Kamala Harris's ass. And don't get me wrong, that ain't no dig to Kamala Harris. But you didn't have no problem doing politics when they had Kamala Harris up on Married to Medicine, not once but twice. It was a big deal then. It was you were political then. You didn't have no issues then. Now you're not political. That just, girl, is that gonna be your way of getting out of dealing with this circus that you believe to be what Dr. Heavily got going on? Now, Brandy, I'm with you, Brandy. Brandy said, listen, she ain't convinced me yet, okay? I do politics. I'm very active politically, and this was a hot-ass mess. This is not how you launch a campaign. This is not the coof that you show. You didn't show me that you had any coof in what you were saying. Now, this is the beginning of where my confusion, I was a little confused a little bit before this, when Dr. Contessa made it seem like the ladies were so divided and this was such a horrible, oh, we've never been this divided before, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't that serious. But here was the beginning of the end. And again, this is what I'm saying. Is it the editing? Did I miss an episode? Did the editing take out too many scenes? Because Mimi gonna lean over to Brandy and say, you need to be careful about who you're aligning yourself with. Girl, what you talking about? What y'all just over Brandy's house having pizza and a play date with the kids? What are you talking about? You need to be careful about who you aligning yourself with. Talking about Toya. And then she gonna say, I mean, I can't believe you're sitting here defending a woman that called you out of your name. Girl, it was a month ago. You talking about production show, the scene where they were at Toya's house. Girl, that was a month ago. I was confused by this whole conversation. I didn't understand it. I didn't understand the conversation. So Brandy is confused. So her and Mimi get into it because she's like, Mimi, girl, what you talking about? Like, what do you mean I need to watch who I'm aligning myself with? I'm not aligning myself with anybody. Like, I am what I am. I'm around who I'm around. I'm a question what I'm a question. Yes, I'm going to question Dr. Heavily in this whole situation and whether it's real or not, because I'm on the outside looking in. Like, I don't even know y'all like that. I'm new to this situation, but I know I take this very seriously. Right. Brandy was like, girl, what are you talking about? And Mimi, now I'm side-eyeing you because now I feel like you are creating a bigger divide, because at the end of the day, again, yes, are there some issues that these ladies have with each other that they need to work out? Yes. But Brandy wasn't one of them. When did Brandy have an issue with anybody? And if Brandy did, I missed it. Because I don't remember Brandy having an issue with any of these ladies. Even with after the Toya thing, Brandy wasn't one of the people that was mad at Toya. Anyway. Hold on, y'all. Lord, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm congested. Give me a second. So now we see Jackie and Simone having lunch. I know how they do their lunches together. And I'm confusion because I thought Jackie was the one that was releasing a scrub line, but Angel already has a scrub line. So are we going to have like a Karen, Wendy candle moment? Are we going to have like a Wendy, Stacy, marijuana moment? Because, and don't get me wrong, is there a market for there to be scrubs from other people? Yeah. But I just was wondering, like, who's doing the scrubs first? Like, what's going on? But neither here nor there. Simone is letting Jackie know that she is winding down. She is taking the OB out of the OBGYN. She's going to stop delivering babies so she could just basically just do the GYN part. She said, I'm tired, I'm burnt out, and I'm just ready to slow down. I am ready to slow down. And I respect it. You have worked your ass off. You have worked hard. And I'm going to be honest with you. Simone in this conversation is giving us a good, she's giving us a good conversation. I don't know if y'all caught everything that Simone said, but Simone is giving us a good conversation. Simone said, listen, I'm tired. I've been working hard. You know, when my husband lost his job, his good corporate job, we lost a good corporate income. And since then, I have carried the burden. Now, she ain't saying that Cecil ain't bringing in no money. What she said is, I'm carrying the burden. Cecil does real estate. And unless he's doing, unless he's selling $5 million homes and he's closing on 3 or 4 homes a month, he ain't, real estate money ain't solid money sometimes, especially if the markets go up and down. I mean, he had to go through COVID. I'm sure that was a rough time. I don't know the price point of the houses he sells, because again, you make commission. So if you're selling a $200,000 house, you're making commission on a $200,000 house. If you're selling a $2 million house, you're making commission on a $2 million house. If you're selling a $10 million house, and high end, high, or even you get into commercial real estate where you're selling buildings. I ain't seen nobody go to Cecil. I mean, have y'all seen anybody? I think Cecil might have shown one person a property a few years ago. I ain't seen nobody going to Cecil. I mean, when Dr. Contessa bought her building, did she use Cecil as her realtor? I mean, does he have his broker's license? Did he just get his real estate license and stop? Because the broker's license is where it's at. Like, are you trying to start your own brokerage firm? Like, or are you just selling a couple of houses a month and you playing golf? I don't know. Simone said that at this point, her and Cecil, she said the sex is still good. She said we do still have a good time together. But at the end of the day, I'm tired and I don't feel like he is a partner. I don't feel like he's there to support me. I don't feel like he's there in the capacity in which I need him. Yes, the sex is good. Yes, when we go out, we have a good time. We still laugh together. She said, but I don't want to go out with him. I don't want to spend time with him. And Dr. Jackie said, Simone, you sound like you talking. She said, y'all are headed for divorce. And I'm going to tell you, I told y'all this 3 episodes ago when I told y'all Simone is ready for divorce. Don't be surprised if we get to the reunion and she done filed for divorce. Simone said to Jackie, but is that a bad thing? She said, I am at a point where I am not going to go into this part of my life and be unhappy. She said, I'm not going to spend this part of my life unhappy. Baby, she about to leave that man if she ain't already done it. I might need to get Tracy to check the docket down in down to the Georgia, find whatever county they live in, and see if she done already filed some paperwork, because that's a wrap right there. I told y'all two episodes ago when she was talking to her sister and she was crying and all she could say was, I'm tired. I said, baby, that is the worst thing you can do, is get somebody to that point, especially a woman, where all she can say is, I'm tired, where she don't have nothing else to give. All she can say is, I'm tired. I am tired. Just like people were giving her a rough time because her son came down here bragging about how he got him a Tesla after that big fight. Basically, I got my car. And what? And I told y'all, don't let the smooth taste fool you. We don't know we don't know. Damn it, this camera. We don't know the circumstances surrounding him getting that car. Because like I said, Simone never said she didn't want to. In that scene, Simone never said she wasn't going to buy that boy a car. What she said was, we're going to sit down and figure out what you can afford. He might be driving a Tesla. He ain't say he went and got a brand new Tesla off the lot. Hell, Simone got a Tesla. She might have gave him her old Tesla and she went and bought her a new one. She might have took that Tesla and traded it in and got him a Tesla. We don't know those circumstances. She never said she wasn't going to buy that boy a car. But that's why I said, Michael, you're wrong, because now you're coming down here trolling. Then they gave her they also gave her some feedback because they went on a family vacation and she took the girlfriends went, right? And people were like, and look at her, she complaining, but she done took them on vacation and took the girlfriends. Again, we don't know the circumstances surrounding that trip. So they ain't supposed to go on a family vacation. They're not allowed to go on a family vacation because Simone is tired and because Simone was complaining about the money. So they can't go on vacation now. We don't know. She might have charged them girls. She might have told Michael and I forget the other son's name. She might have told Michael and them, okay, oh, y'all want to bring y'all girlfriend? Well, they gotta pay. Now, she probably didn't charge them what the trip was equal to, because I'm sure they flew first class and I'm sure they stayed at a really, really nice hotel/resort situation. But again, the boys are grown. Those boys are in their late 20s. They grown. We don't know. We just see that they posted pictures online that, Miles, thank you. We just know that they posted pictures online that they went on vacation. So she can't go on vacation now? And exactly, Nikki. I love that Simone is acknowledging that she needs more than some good sex and some good laughs. She knows that she's not happy. And like I said, I don't think she's been happy for a very long time. I don't think when they talked them out of the divorce the first time, I don't think she meant it. But I respect that she tried to, she gave it another try. But listen, she's not happy. And if she's not happy, she has every right to do what makes her happy. Life is short. And again, it ain't that she don't love him. She's not happy. It's two different things. So then we get to Angel's scrub line party, right? I mean, like reveal. I won't say it's a fashion show because they just had the mannequins. But I loved it. Okay. First of all, I love the fact that Angel, you had this venue, you had a vision, you had a party planner. You told the lady you wanted to be like futuristic. Now, Contessa was like, I don't know what being futuristic has to do with scrubs. It doesn't have anything to do with scrubs. It's fashion. When you go to fashion shows, they have themes, and the themes don't have shit to do with nothing, but it's just the theme of the fashion show. So her theme was futuristic, but it was a theme. It was a clear theme. When you walked in the door, you knew what the theme was, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it, right? The only thing I didn't like is that I wish she had live models walking around. But the mannequins were cute. Now, people also they said something about the fact that she didn't wear her own, that she had on a dress, that she wasn't modeling her own scrubs. But she's not a model. She was there as the owner and proprietor of the business, introducing her newest collection. Most of the time when we see designers on the runway at their fashion show, most of the time they're just in clothes. Now I see the women do it more than the men, where they wear something that is cohesive to the collection. She did. Oh yeah, you're right. She did have that man. She did have that man. So I was here for it. I was here for it. Right, exactly right, Chuck. The future of scrubs, duh. And I thought it was nice. It looked like it was a family event because the husbands were there. She asked the ladies to dress in metallic, so the ladies all of the ladies tried to keep with the theme, child. Now, I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to tell y'all, when I got done watching this episode last night, I was confusion. I was confusion. Really, why were you confusion? I was confusion because all of these arguments at this event seemed so fucking random. It seemed like and I know y'all hate it when we like production, but it really seemed like production just said, y'all go ahead and fight now so we can get to this group trip and y'all can make up. Because first the ladies were giving Dr. Heavenly their critique on the launch of her campaign. Was it a needed conversation? Yes. I do think that Dr. Heavenly needed to hear the feedback, and understand how the launch was perceived. If this is real, you have Heavenly there, you have Quad there. Yes, I do think y'all should have that conversation. And it's a reality show, so fine, have the conversation there, whatever. But it seemed like they were trying to be mean. So when Dr. Heavenly decided to disengage rather than argue, then it's a problem. Oh, see, in politics, she gonna have to deal with criticism all the time. And if her way of dealing with criticism is to walk away, she ain't ready for this. She ain't ready for this. But had she argued with y'all and said your mama, then y'all be like, see, she ain't ready. You can't just be cussing people out just because they say something you don't like. See, she ain't ready for this. It was a no-win situation. And I respected that Dr. Heavenly walked away. Right. Because they were picking at Dr. Heavenly. It wasn't constructive criticism. They were picking at her, in my opinion. So then we have not Quad. Then we have the ladies, Simone is talking about Quad looking her stuff up or something. No, that's when Contessa is telling the ladies about the group trip. She said, pack your bags, pack your bathing suits. We're going somewhere nice. I just need us to go. I think this is why we need to reset, blah, 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 blah. So then the Mimi, Toya, Brandy conversation happens where Toya is trying to figure out, why are you warning Brandy about being cool with me? Like, where is that coming from? What is that about? And Mimi, you don't have no answer because it came from nowhere. You don't have no answer because it came from nowhere. You had no reason to go to Brandy and warn her away from Toya. Now, again, does Toya have some shit with her? Yes, she does. But this right here, your beef with Toya is I don't know where it comes from. I don't know where it's coming from. But well, Chuck, that's fine that she's not ready. But what I'm saying was that she was in a no-win situation, though. I'm gonna pull the black card. Don't tear the campaign down just for a white person to win. Well, and that's fine. You can pull the black card. I want the right person to win. Sometimes the right person to win is the white person. I know here in Virginia, the black person running was MAGA. She was a Trump supporter. I was 100% rooting for the white woman. Sometimes I understand we want to support black folk, but sometimes they ain't the one to support. And in this case, I don't know who's running against Heavenly. I don't know who the person is running against Heavenly, but so Angel comes down and she does her presentation and all of the things and, you know, all of that. And that's great. And then the next thing you know, Quad and Simone are getting into it because Quad is questioning Simone about why are you looking up my stuff? Why are you looking up my stuff? Why are you looking up my stuff? You act like I can't afford my lifestyle. Are you trying to say I'm broke? I'm going to be honest with y'all. That shit seemed like it came out of nowhere and it seemed like it escalated really fast. Quad, you been known. Dr. Heavenly Ben told you that Simone was looking up your shit. Why now are we mad enough that we arguing in the middle of this lady's function and we screaming at the top of our lungs and we cussing each other out? I was like, and again, you're not the only person. Like, all of y'all have looked shit up, and I can't say every single person, but people do that. People look up stuff. Y'all looked up Toya shit, and y'all applauded the lady. I forget her name, but she was her and her husband. She was a real estate agent, and her husband was a doctor. She was pregnant, and she only had that one season. But y'all went up for her pulling all of Latoya's information and breaking down Toya's situation. You paid this much and you sold it for this much, and this is how much money you lost because this is the interest rate. Oh, we applauded that. And I say we because I thought it was, I love the read because she went line by line and she had the interest rate and stuff. We applauded that. We love that. Now all of a sudden, no, it's a problem. Quad, it was all in the blogs that your man was a scammer and he was involved in that. Y'all remember we talked about it over here where there was this lawsuit where somebody stole the car and didn't get the car back, or it was stolen vehicle. That was his business. So maybe Simone, around the time when all that shit hit the blogs, maybe that's when Simone looked it up. I don't know. Maybe Simone did look up to find out whether that car actually was in the name of the business, because the people was out here saying Quad Man was a scammer. It doesn't matter, though. It's not that serious. Quad, can I say something, Quad? Quad. Oh, wait a minute. Coco Coleman said, no, Simone had a problem when Lisa Nicole did that to Quad. I can't speak to that because I didn't watch it then. So you probably right. I didn't watch it then. I don't know. Let me say something though. Quad. Everybody. And when I say everybody, y'all, clearly I don't mean everybody in the world. Everybody want to know where you get your money from. And again, when I say everybody, I don't mean everybody in the world. I'm just saying. Y'all listen to what I'm telling y'all. I'm not saying that Simone was right for doing it. What I'm saying is, why are we acting like Simone violated? Are we not going to sit here and act like Simone and Quad ain't been beefing? Maybe it's when Simone and Quad wasn't fucking with each other. Maybe that she did all of that when after the reunion, when they was yelling at each other and cussing each other out at the reunion. Like, we're not going to sit here and act like Quad and Simone have been best friends. I'm just saying. So I'm not saying Simone was right, but what I am saying is, Quad, Why are we sitting here acting like this is something that Simone just did yesterday after y'all were cool again? Your source is Dr. Heavenly, which I don't understand. I don't understand why you were talking to Dr. Heavenly to begin with, ma'am. Hello. But your source is Dr. Heavenly. So we don't know when this happened. But what I'm saying is, I don't understand how that escalated to what we saw at the end of this episode at Angel's event. It's crazy. Y'all, when I say y'all, you know, I ain't talking about y'all. I'm just saying in general. Y'all act like Simone and Quad were best friends and Quad violated. They not cool like that. Right, that's how the season started. The season started with Simone and Quad beefing. So if Simone and Quad did not speak to each other, and they were beefing last season, they didn't speak to each other probably while they weren't filming, and when they started filming again, they were still beefing. Why would we? And again, why would anybody be surprised that Simone was out here being messy in Quad's business? I'm saying all this to say it takes me back to where I started this episode, where I was like, I am confusion as to how we got here. Does Quad have a reason to be irritated with Simone? Yes, she does. But I don't understand the level in which this situation escalated. Just like I don't understand Mimi going up to Brandy talking about be careful who you align yourself with, because what? Not the look on King's face when Quad mentioned the vent child. So then Toya said it. Toya said exactly what the other people was talking about. Simone said, go back over there with your people because you're not our type. So now, Simone, what you are, I'm sorry, not Simone, Toya. So now, Toya, what you are saying is you are confirming that y'all are moving in cliques. Because until Toya said that, I honestly was sitting here like, this is crazy. Until Toya said that, I was like, this is crazy to me. How did we get here? How did we get here? Crazy to me. This was crazy work to me. You see what I'm saying? Didn't make any sense to me at all. Right, Des Hop. And again, the last 20 minutes of this whole episode, I was fucking confused. Because it just, and again, I don't know if the editing was that bad, that it was chopped up so bad that it just didn't make sense, or if the ladies were just putting it on 20 because they know they get ready to go on a girls trip, and they gotta have, and on the girls trip they gotta resolve something, so they gotta amp up the conflict. Like, I didn't understand. And then Angel, after you got done complaining and fussing about the women tearing your shit up and being ghetto and how you ain't inviting them nowhere no more because they don't know how to act, you go up to Toya and say, well, Toya, I got a problem with you too, but we'll discuss it later. I'm with Toya. Don't come up to me and tell me you got a problem with me and then say, well, we can talk about that later. No, we're going to talk about that right now. What do you mean we're going to talk about it later? We're not talking about shit later. We're talking about it right now. Hello? Now. What you mean we're going to talk about it later? Now, again, Angel has a right to be mad at Toya. I mean, because what Toya did was effed up. But y'all, I'm sorry. The whole thing confused me. So by the time we got done, all the ladies are arguing, and it's a perfect setup for the trip. And then Contessa, what the fuck is wrong with you? Y'all, I used to love Dr. Contessa. She was my favorite. Do you hear me? When Dr. Contessa first came on this show, I loved her. Loved me some Contessa. Contessa, why are you, in the midst of all this yelling and screaming and arguing, why are you talking to the women talking about something? Are you coming to the girls' trip? Are you coming to the girls' trip? Promise me you're going to come. Promise me you're going to come. First of all, girl, if that had been me in that situation, you'd have got cussed out. I'm in the middle of arguing with this lady over here, and you gonna bust into the middle of the argument to ask me if I'm coming on your fucking girls trip. Girl, if you don't go sit all the way the fuck down, leave me alone while I finish this argument over here. Second of all, Contessa, you know they coming. You know they're coming. They have to. They are contractually obligated to come. Why? It was an unnecessary moment. You're trying to make the scene, and it was an unnecessary way to try and make the scene. It was unnecessary. Girl, you know they coming. Why are you running around that room getting in them people's face? Some promise me you're gonna come. Promise me you're gonna. Girl, they coming. I just don't understand. And I from the previews, it does look like somebody doesn't show up. I think Simone. Is it from the previews? I think it's Simone that doesn't come, or Heavenly. One of them don't come. But I'm sure that they have a legitimate reason. Like if Simone's not there, all Simone got to say is she on call and she couldn't get off work. And generally speaking, for Simone and Jackie, if they can't be there the whole time, they'll come down for part of it. It's Heavenly that didn't come. Okay. I knew one of them didn't show up, but all they have to do is come up with a reason, especially for the women that are doctors. Like all they have to do is come up with a legitimate work reason, but they are contractually obligated to be there. So I was just like, child, bye. Hold on a second, y'all. But with all of that being said, if I'm being honest, you guys, the episode was okay. I think I enjoyed last week's episode better. And again, I understand the arguing. I know that's what they have to do. They have to set it up for the girls' trip. I get it. And there are some conflicts. There are some legitimate conflicts. I just feel like the way, again, and it might have been the editing, it just seemed so random and chopped up. It just seemed so random. And then the way they tore up that lady's event like that was a nice event. You know what I'm saying? They could have done that outside in the parking lot or something. They tore that lady event up. Oh, I did see that, Nikki. Yeah. Curtis, go sit down somewhere, sir. Because you know what? See, this is shit that be irritating me about people. So in the clip for the trailer for the second half of the season, there's a clip where Curtis is talking to King about the right order of having babies. Like you get married first and then you have children. Says the person who cheated on his wife. See, don't throw a rock and you live in a glass house. God also said that, I mean, you know, if we're going to go by what you're talking about, I think adultery was in there. So it was okay for you to be cheating on your wife, but King can't have a baby with Quad, out of order? I'm sorry, what? But I need to see that in context because Curtis, I don't even understand why you in that. That ain't your business. Did King ask? I mean, did King ask? Because if King didn't ask, I don't understand why you're volunteering. See, it's some shit I stay out of. Let me tell you something. As much as I talk and as opinionated as I am, baby, there's a lot of times I keep my mouth shut. I be like, I don't know nothing. Sometimes people ask me stuff. I'm like, well, what do you think? Everything don't need my opinion. Especially if I know that my opinion isn't what they want to hear. And I'll even tell people, oh, it don't matter what I think. Because it doesn't. If a friend comes to me and says, listen, I'm ready to have a baby, I don't give a damn. I'm going to take care of this baby by myself. I got the money. I can afford to do it. I just want a child. And I've been dating this guy. And I know he might not be the one, but he is good enough. I think he's beautiful. He's going to make a fine specimen. What you think? Baby, it don't matter what I think. You started this conversation off by saying, I want a baby. Doesn't matter what I think. Go get your baby, girl. I have friends that, and again, I'll give advice. But sometimes you still have to be careful in the advice that you give, because you have to be able to separate whether this person is really truly seeking my advice or seeking my acceptance. Because if you were seeking my advice, you would ask me before you made up your mind about what you wanted to do. If you come to me and you told me you've already made up your mind, you want my acceptance. You don't want my advice. Because you already told me this what you're going to do. Okay. I mean, you already told me what you're going to do now. Somebody come to me and say, I'm getting ready to take me a Virgin cruise. But which one you think is the best? You think Virgin, Royal Caribbean, or Carnival? Which one you think is the best? Girl, you just already told me you done already sent your money to Virgin. Why are you asking me which one I think is the best after you done already put your deposit down on Virgin? And I do that to my students. I did that to somebody the other day. And then sometimes I have to catch myself and remember I'm not talking to kids when I talk to adults. But I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was like, that's not the question you want to ask me. Because I do it to my students all the time. They'll say, perfect example, my students will say to me, how can I get my grade up? No, what do I need to do to get my grade up? And my response to them is, you know what you need to do to get your grade up. Ask the question you really want to ask. Because that's not the question you want to ask. You know what you need to do to get your grade up. The question you really want to ask is, do I have enough time to get my grade up before the end of the semester? Will you give us an opportunity to turn in late work so I can get my grade up before the end? Like, those are the questions you want to ask me. Asking me what you need to do to get your grade up. You know what you need to do to get your grade up. You miss an assignment, so you need to turn in some missing assignments. That's what you need to do. The question is, am I going to let you do it? That's the question. And how can you do it? See, words mean things. Ask what you mean. Not I do that with my mama. You already did it, so why you ask me that? Right. And again, and I have to catch myself when I talk to adults. But adults do it too, and they'll ask me a question. I'll be like, what do you really want to know? And I have to catch myself and be like, I'm not saying that to be disrespectful. I'm not, I ain't trying to be smart. But the question you just asked me that's not going to help you. You asking me, you're telling me I'm already going on a Virgin cruise, but which one do you think is the best cruise line? Does it matter anymore? You're going on Virgin. So the question you really want to ask me is, have you been on a Virgin cruise line? Did you like it? Did you like it in comparison to blah, blah? You see what I'm saying? Now you see how you get better information if you ask those types of questions. Just asking me which one I like best, that don't help you. Because if I say Carnival, now what? You going on a Virgin. The question you want to ask me is, have you been on a Virgin cruise line? What did you like about it? Can you give me some tips? But see, if I say that to people, then they'll be like, oh, you just being a smart ass. I'm really not trying to be. But I can answer your question and you still don't have nothing. That doesn't help you do nothing. Anyway, that was the episode, y'all. We'll probably do a tribe meeting at some point today, but although I don't know what we're going to talk about because, child, it ain't really nothing going on that I kind of want to talk about, but I'll see if it's something out there for us to talk about. Maybe I'll just I don't know. I have to see what's in the blogs, honey. I have to see what's in the blogs. Hold on. But with that being said, let me get off of here. What up, Billy boy? I need to call you too. I know you off somewhere probably dancing, making some videos. Dancing. That's the law and order degree, y'all. Right. Like and again, I do it to my students. So it's hard for me not to do it to adults, but don't call me and be like, what's up, busy? Oh, yeah, tonight. Yes, thank you. You know what? Perfect, because I'm going to get off of here. We will be at T's house. He is hosting tonight. And based on the group chat, Busy is not lying, baby. Tonight's Whether You Like It or Not panel is going to be a mess. It is going to be a mess based on the group chat, because we arguing in the group chat. Oh, Nikki, I was so mad. Oh my gosh. And I feel so bad. Nikki said, can we have a moment of silence for her Bears? I feel so bad for Caleb Williams, because that is a nasty way to end the season. They were marching down the field. They were almost in field goal range. And he throws that interception. That is a nasty, baby. You were one play away. You were one play away. Because if he catches that ball, they're in field goal range. If they make the field goal, it's a wrap. And then the Bears are going to play Denver, right? Wouldn't y'all have played Denver, who just lost their starting quarterback? So they're vulnerable. Baby, that one play could have been their ticket to the Super Bowl. That's I feel bad. I feel so bad. Listen, I was in here for y'all. I feel so bad. I'm so sorry. I feel bad. It'd be one thing if y'all just lost. Y'all just played a bad game and just lost. But to lose like that, and that's real talk. Because y'all know I'm a Commanders fan, but I'm a football fan. And that was a good game. And I was cheering for Caleb. I was cheering for Caleb. And that's just a nasty, nasty, nasty way to end. I felt so bad for him. I was like, somebody better stay at his house tonight. Like, I really, really felt bad for him. Yes, that touchdown, that was crazy. Yeah, it was a good game. It was some good football. This postseason has been some good football, y'all. Anyway, let me get off of here. I'm going to call my mama. I ain't talked to my mama in a couple. We've been texting, but I ain't heard her voice in a couple of days. I need to call my mama. And then I got to make a couple of business calls. But I'm going to look at the blogs and see if there's anything worth talking about, child. We'll do something on the other channel. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.